I'm really delighted to partner with so many other amazing organizations who for years have been working in this space to really empower early childcare centers and other community groups to be prepared for anaphylaxis, to be able to recognize the symptoms of a child having an allergy emergency and then be able to treat it. And it is so important for early childcare centers to have not just the support of healthcare professionals and their own staff, but also the families and really bring everybody together through the collaborative to provide amazing resources. And that's exactly what we're doing. And I'm just so excited to be here and talking with you about it today.
Hey everyone, this is Jonathan Marks from Go2 Health. Hope you're doing well today. Our topic today is really for parents of young children and for people who care for young children. Severe food allergies can be life-threatening, and infants and toddlers are particularly vulnerable due to their inability to communicate their symptoms. Food allergies are most prevalent in children 1 through 5, and more than 60% of children in this age group attend childcare. So it's really critical that childcare centers are prepared for emergencies. The Early Childhood Anaphylaxis Collaborative, a new multidisciplinary group of childcare professionals, healthcare providers, parents, and advocacy organizations, has already brought together 103 advocates across the childcare community to make a difference in anaphylaxis preparedness. The collaborative is equipping early childcare leaders with the knowledge and tools to recognize and respond to severe allergic reactions among young children in their care, including guidance on stocking epinephrine that is not prescribed to a specific person, known as undesignated epinephrine, where permitted. While most states have laws that allow or require stocking undesignated epinephrine in K through 12 schools, this doesn't apply universally to early child care centers. So it's worth talking with your child care center about how they're prepared for allergic emergencies. Legislation known as Elijah's Law has been passed in several states supporting these same goals, allowing centers to stock undesignated epinephrine and require staff training on how to recognize an allergic emergency and how to administer epinephrine. Our guest today is Alice Hoyt, MD, a practicing allergist and founder of Code Anna, a nonprofit that works to train childcare centers in anaphylaxis preparedness, expert in the growing incidence of food allergies, the importance of an anaphylaxis response plan, and who makes free resources available to childcare professionals, healthcare providers, and parents. You can learn more at ecacollaborative.com. So welcome to the show, Alice Hoyt, MD. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Good. So tell us about the requirements to have anaphylaxis treatments in both schools and child care centers. Are they different? Is it required everywhere? What's the issue?
It's quite mixed across the country. And when we're talking about kindergarten through grade 12 schools compared to early childcare centers, there's a lot of mix there too. So across the US, most states at least encourage or allow schools to stock epinephrine, meaning they can have undesignated or epinephrine available to be used for anybody who's having an allergic reaction. That's called undesignated epinephrine.
Mhm.
Epinephrine is the treatment for anaphylaxis. But when it comes to early childcare centers, there's not as much when it comes to our state codes, and not all states to date explicitly permit early childcare centers to stock epi, but many do, and they should. And here's why. 5 to 10% of kiddos have a food allergy, and that means they're at risk of having a life-threatening reaction. And we want these early childcare centers who are caring for our most vulnerable kiddos who can't always, right, speak up for themselves and say, excuse me, I'm having an anaphylactic reaction.
Yes.
We want those childcare centers, right, to be prepared to know how to recognize and respond to the reaction.
Yeah. Now, are these usually surprise reactions, or is this something that parents know about before they put their kid in childcare and should tell the childcare center about? Or does this come about as a surprise when the kid is fed something at childcare?
So both situations can happen. All the situations can happen because we're dealing with really young kids in early child care centers. And sometimes they might be experiencing that food for the first time, or maybe they have it once before a few months ago and did okay with it, but then they have it again and they have a pretty bad reaction to it. And so about a third of the time, kids are having allergic reactions and there was no known diagnosis,
Mm,
which really underscores the importance of the center being prepared to recognize the reaction and then treat it.
right. So tell us about your collaborative. It's called the Early Childhood Anaphylaxis Collaborative. What is it? Why is it important for childcare centers and parents of young children to know about?
Absolutely. I'm really delighted to partner with so many other amazing organizations who, for years, have been working in this space to really empower early childcare centers and other community groups to be prepared for anaphylaxis, to be able to recognize the symptoms of a child having an allergy emergency and then be able to treat it. And it is so important for early child care centers to have not just the support of healthcare professionals and their own staff, but also the families and really bring everybody together through the collaborative to provide amazing resources. And that's exactly what we're doing. And I'm just so excited to be here and talking with you about it today.
Good. And people can learn more. I'll tell this a couple of times, but they can go to ecacollaborative.com. That's your website, correct?
They can go to ecacollaborative.com, amazing resources. And when they sign up, they're going to be emailed even more amazing resources. So centers and parents, they don't have to wonder, what do I do next? How do I do this? It's all really given to them really nicely.
Yeah. So I raised four kids, and I remember the big warning about peanut allergies. Now, is that the major allergen? And what's special about peanuts or different about peanuts? And are there other foods that are equally as interactive with a kid's health?
That's a great question. We don't know what exactly is special about peanuts when it comes to the allergy, but we know that peanuts, tree nuts, egg, milk, wheat, soy, fish, shellfish, and sesame, those are the top nine allergen or the big nine. We first noted the uptick in peanut allergy in the 1990s, which then resulted in expert opinion saying, oh, well, let's have young kiddos avoid these foods to help prevent the allergy, but we know that was exactly the opposite information that we needed to provide families. Actually, based on many studies now, based on evidence, we know that early introduction of these commonly allergenic foods can actually help babies grow tolerant to the food and not develop the allergies. But we still don't, to your point, we still don't know why these foods are causing these problems.
Can you say that list again? Because I think people will want to know that, and I'm sure they can find it on your website, but say that list again slowly for us so we can write it down.
Absolutely. So the big nine allergens, peanuts, tree nuts, eggs, milk, wheat, soy, fish, shellfish, and sesame.
Got it. Thank you very much for that. So, what should be included
Sure.
in an anaphylaxis response plan, and what childcare centers should do to help kids and protect them?
Absolutely. An anaphylaxis response plan is going to help keep those kiddos safe because really it has two parts to it. The first part of a good anaphylaxis response plan is all about education, making sure that all of those early childcare professionals know how to prevent, recognize, and respond to an allergy emergency.
Hmm.
The second part of that plan is really practicing that emergency response and making sure everybody knows how to treat a child who is having an allergy emergency, how to use the undesignated epinephrine, or how to use that child's own epinephrine.
Got it. And why is it called undesignated epinephrine? What do you mean when you say that?
Undesignated means that the medication is actually prescribed to the child care center or
Uh,
to the school, as opposed to it being prescribed to an individual. So, what's so nice about undesignated epinephrine is that it really is there to be used for anybody having an allergic reaction, as opposed to one child in particular, they have epi device usually prescribed to them to be used in case they have an allergy emergency.
yes.
What's so nice about undesignated is that it's prescribed to the center to take care of anybody having a reaction.
Got it. Thank you for that clarification. And when people go to your website at ecacollaborative.com, can parents learn about introducing foods, as you just mentioned before, introducing foods to basically prevent allergic reactions. Can we learn about that at your website?
You can learn about so much regarding food allergies, and you can learn about early introduction. You can learn about how to manage allergic reactions. And what's really nice is that it's a true collaborative where we're working with so many other amazing organizations that are going to have so much awesome information on all of these different topics and solid evidence-based information. So this is a great place for families to start is ecacollaborative.com.
I'm so glad you mentioned evidence-based because that's what we emphasize on this show and every show is evidence-based medicine. Thank you for mentioning that. Good. So I'm curious, what got you into this field of study? What interested you or motivated you to become so focused on this?
So before I went to medical school, I actually earned a degree in nutrition, and I've always been fascinated with how foods in our bodies interact. I spent a lot of time on my grandparents' farm when I was a little girl and just have always been fascinated and interested in that. And so when I felt called to go into medicine and then had the opportunity to learn more about allergies and really how foods and our bodies don't interact well, it was sort of a natural fit. God knew what he was doing when he put me on this path.
Good. I'm glad. It's nice to know what your direction is. That's wonderful. So, what resources are available to those who join the collaborative? And who
When
can
you join,
join? Is it just childcare centers or can parents join as well?
parents can join, early child care professionals can join, centers can join, so their leadership, healthcare professionals can join. Really, anybody with an interest in keeping children safe in their early child care center is who wants to join this. And when they go and sign up, they put in their email address, they're going to be emailed links to all these amazing organizations with all of this, all these amazing resources. And even right after they submit, just a list of all of these different resources come up so that early child care centers parents, they don't have to go searching all around the internet. What you need is literally right there. And what's been curated by solid evidence-based partners. So I'm just really enthusiastic about this. It's really a long time coming. So I'm so excited to be here to be talking about it with you.
Great. And is this relatively new or has this been going on for a while? And how many members do you have?
So we have over 100 members right now. And I will say that a lot of the organizations who are partnering with us, they have been working in this space for years, some decades, really focusing on how can we keep these children safe. And so what's so amazing about this is that it's a true collaborative where we really are encouraging everybody to see what everybody else is doing and what resources do they have available, really trying to make it as easy as possible for early child care centers to get the information that they need to help keep those children safe.
Good. Thank you. And I understand you chair a national organization called Code Anna. Tell us about that.
So Code Anna, I founded that back when I was an allergist in training. And what we do is we equip childcare centers and schools for medical emergencies like anaphylaxis, like sudden cardiac arrest. And what started it was really a school reached out to my allergy training program and said, "Hey, we have this little girl's EpiPen." It was a school nurse, but how do I know she needs it if she's on the playground and I'm in my office? And I said, "Well, what's your medical emergency response plan or what's your anaphylaxis response plan?" And it was kind of crickets. And so that's when I realized that I really could share what I've learned through training in the intensive care unit, how to have good closed loop communication and good solid plans, and help translate that into the school and early childcare environment to help these true first responders be prepared for when a child becomes very ill.
Good. And I also understand you have a popular podcast. It's called Food Allergy and Your Kiddo. I notice you've used that term a number of times today. Your kiddo. Tell us about your podcast.
I do. So I love hosting my podcast. I'll have on parents, I'll have on other allergists, really just an amazing place to go. You mentioned that you really value evidence-based medicine. So do I. This is an amazing place to listen to parents talk about their experiences, but also other allergists from across the country talk about what they're studying, how they're managing patients. It's just my goal is to provide evidence-based information to families.
Good for you. I'm so glad you're doing it. So, what last word would you like to leave with people today so that we can remember what your message is?
Absolutely. So I think just any of the early childcare professionals who are tuned in, I just want to thank them for taking the time to love on our children while we're all here doing our professions. You're doing your profession. And so we really want to serve you through this early childhood anaphylaxis collaborative. So go to ecacollaborative.com and access those resources, and we're here to help.
Great. Thank you so much for being with us today. It's been a pleasure to learn about this and learn about what you're doing. And I want to thank you for your service because it's so important.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good. We've been with Dr. Alice Hoyt, MD. She's the founder of the Hoyt Institute of Food Allergy. And as you can tell from the interview, she's been practicing this for quite a number of years throughout her career. And she's really dedicated to keeping our children safe with safe food and proper response to allergic reactions. Thanks so much for being with us today, Dr. Hoyt.
Thank you for having me.
Good. This has been Jonathan Marks with Go2 Health. Remember, we're on YouTube. We're on 8 podcast networks. We're enjoying 11,000 downloads per day. We hope you will subscribe to us, and we thank you for doing so and for your interest. And as we talked about today, we do focus on evidence-based medicine. This has been Jonathan Marks with Go2 Health, and as we say at the end of every show, go to health. Take care. We'll see you again next time. Bye. Thank you for tuning in today to Go2 Health. You are one of almost 10,000 people per day who enjoy the evidence-based health information offered by our guest health experts. You can watch us on our website and YouTube and listen to us on 8 podcast networks. Be sure to join Jonathan Marks in our upcoming shows each week. If you like our show, please share this episode with your friends and colleagues. You can subscribe to the show, join our email list, send us feedback, browse through the online store, and view our library of over 150 shows at go2healthmedia.com. See you next time, and remember to elevate your life with Go2 Health.